As we've just seen, much of the debate over whether or not to reform California's death penalty through Proposition 34 revolves around moral issues. But court costs and execution delays are some of the arguments for and against this state ballot measure. Paul Kaplan, professor of criminal justice at the SDSU School of Public Affairs, is here to talk about the practical concerns of capital punishment. Paul, thanks for being here.
Hi.
Let's review a little bit. What will change precisely if Prop 34 passes in November?
So the first thing that would happen is all of the people sentenced to death, their sentences would be converted to life without the possibility of parole, no parole. They'd get life sentences. Secondly, those prisoners and all future people that are convicted of first-degree murder would be doing a work program while in prison, which would pay money into a restitution fund for the victim's family. And then finally, the money, the $100 million would be saved by basically for the appeals, would go into cold case investigations for unsolved murders and rapes.
And this is also retroactive.
It's retroactive, right? So everybody already on death row would get converted to life without parole.
Okay, specifically, let me explain who we're talking about and what the situation is right now. Since California reinstated the death penalty in 1978, just under 900 people have been condemned to death. 13 have been executed. There are 724 men and 19 women awaiting execution by lethal injection or by gas. However, there hasn't been an execution in California, Paul, since 2006.
That's
How
right.
come?
Right now we're in a legal moratorium because of a California judge's concern about lethal injection. The lethal injection method is a 3-chemical process, an anesthetic, and then a paralytic, and then a chemical that kills you. And the concern is that the person wouldn't get the anesthetic. They would just get they would be paralyzed and then killed, which would be painful, which would be an Eighth Amendment violation. So this concern is what's driving the current moratorium, in addition to all of the long appeals that hold up all of the death sentences in California.
In addition to issues like that, why does it cost so much to keep a prisoner on death row or ready for execution?
The main cost is the cost of the appeals. People are concerned about the possibility of executing an innocent person. They're concerned that the death penalty be fair. And so we've put some resources into the appellate process to ensure that those things don't happen. But we don't have enough money to pay all the appellate attorneys. Only about a third of those 700 people on death row have even had their state appeal confirmed, meaning they haven't even gone into the federal system yet. It's just too expensive to pay for the appeals. That's the basic problem.
Wouldn't people still be appealing if they got a conviction and a penalty of life in prison?
Yes, but it wouldn't be automatic. The law states that it's an automatic appeal. You're guaranteed an appeal by the law. So once you're sentenced to death, you don't get a lawyer right away, but you're on a list, and eventually you'll get a lawyer because the actual statute declares that you have an automatic appeal to the state Supreme Court and into the federal system.
Analysts of this proposition say about $100 million up to $130 million a year could be saved. That'll go into that fund that you had mentioned earlier. How does that savings, or how does the cost of death row compare to keeping somebody in prison for life, including the aging population and medical concerns?
So it's intuitive that you'd think it would be less expensive to execute somebody. That's sort of the intuitive idea. However, because of the cost of the appeals and the conditions of death row are single cell, guys are housed in a single cell, and the security apparatus is more strict, basically, so it's more expensive. But the real expense, again, is the appeals. And not that many guys who are just doing prison sentences, even life sentences, are doing appeals. So it's that huge amount of money going into the appeals that explains the huge difference in cost.
What do the polls say right now as far as where this proposition stands?
My understanding is that the most recent polling shows it pretty close to neck and neck. And I don't actually have the number in front of me, but I think it's just about neck and neck.
All right. What could make voters decide one way or the other? Exactly.
So I think that California is ambivalent about the death penalty. People like the idea in the abstract. If you ask somebody, do you like the idea of the death penalty? Sure, I do. Once that person is exposed to the truth about the way the institution operates, that they become ambivalent about it. And I think the ambivalence is driven by a concern over, as I said, innocence and fairness. And I think that the more that the Prop 34 campaign can emphasize that and the public safety part of the message, which is that it's going to put all this money into trying to solve cold cases, I think those are probably the messages that might convince people.
All right. Professor Paul Kaplan, thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.